Looks like I'm alive. If there's sound coming through, fantastic. If there's not, crap. Anyways, this is Elder Scrolls Online 2018. There is no DLC content on this, so we'll just go from there. Apparently the delay works and I hear sound. Create a character. This is very straightforward and simple. I'm just going to pick my alliance that I typically play, which is the center one, the Aldmeri Dominion. Since I bought a particular version of ESO when it first came out, it came with access to everything, including the Imperials. If you log on now, typically you won't have access to this here. You have access to other things. Previews only if you need to get an idea what the character looks like at a later time. Okay, so let's make it simple. For the one person I'm making it for, you have very few choices when you're starting the game, but it's worth it. You can play any of the three factions. It just depends on your starting area and your storyline, but if you want to just play whatever, you can. Eventually you play through all three of the storylines. Here are your classes. Your base classes are Dragon Knight, Sorcerer, Nightblade, Templar. Warden requires you to buy the actual expansion. If you have DLC, you have other things, it's fine, but as far as you need to actually purchase the expansion itself, and that's how you get the Warden. Warden, from I can explain best, is you are a whatever you want to be, and then you have a pet with you. So I play all the classes, but I play mostly a Nightblade Archer, so we'll just go from there. You can design your features however you want to. This is a huge area of information right here. You can change the size of just about everything. So if you want a fat blob character, you can make it, or if you want a super thin anorexic zombie-looking creature, you can. And then you have face. My suggestion is don't put anything on the face, leave it blank, because you just really I don't like the way it looks, and you have to pay money to get it removed. You can also choose your different voices for what your character says and does, which is awesome. Alright, so let's go. So that gives you the idea of how to do that. Now they've added a feature where you can change your appearance at will, and some things cost gold, some things don't cost gold. Like if you want to show your helmet, you have to actually turn off this. I usually default it off, but it's not in the main part of the display features, because where it used to be was in the main menu and you just look for it, but now it's actually in your general appearance. This is one of my lower levels, as you can see. As you can tell, the crown store pops up right off the bat, which I like, but I don't like, but I'm not worried about it. Okay, so your inventory is broken down into everything: weapons, apparel, consumables, materials, furnishings, miscellaneous, quest, and junk. You can also, if you pay $15 a month, you get an open craft bag, which has an unlimited value so far. I haven't been able to fill it, so I've tried. There's different currencies in the game, as well as quick slots. Means when you press Q, a little wheel will pop up, and then it'll tell you you can have healing potions in the first slot. So whenever you press Q from that point on, that pops up. Press Q and you heal yourself with a vial of some sort. In-game currency is your PvP points. Crown gems is what you purchase things between inside and outside the game. Real money to crown gems. Crown gems, if you save enough, gives you expansion and DLC materials. The expansion I don't think you can, but that's how it is. Crowns is also an in-game, out-game. The crowns themselves are what you buy with regular money. The crown gems are a secondary part of it, but it's there. And then gold is your main currency for the game. Writ vouchers are for crafting. So. When you have one character reach level 50, which is the level cap, at that point you continue leveling and you create champion points. As you see here. I have 85 points that I can put in each of the 3 tiers, and each of the 3 tiers gives you different stuff. I'll worry about it later. In collectibles, you have things you see here. You can finish through it. It's actually fun to finish through. So, appearance is a major one. Hide your helm. So you want to set activate by this. There, you don't see the helm anymore. What you're seeing in the costume here is one that I purchased. It is the Elven Hero armor. You can actually purchase it. It's the armor you see in the video for Elder Scrolls Online itself. If you want that video, let me know. Otherwise, you can just look it up and you'll be fine. Good to go on that. If you want it though, I'll post it probably at some other time, but not right now. Characters are pretty simple. It tells you what the rewards are when you level. So you have 3 core stats: health, stamina, and magicka. Magicka is your mana pool. Health is actually your hit points, and stamina is how many energy things that you can do, like heavy attacks. If you want to do several heavy attacks in a row, it costs stamina. Sprinting costs stamina. Rolling out of the way costs stamina. So those are the things that you have to worry about when you go through those things. This character is magicka. It's a spellcaster, so I want to put into this pool and this pool. This one not as much. So you have a lot of skills. So I'll make it very simple for you. You can build your character however you want to. Literally, if you want to be a pet, a summoning master, but you want to use bow as your weapon, go for it. If you want to use dual wield 2 daggers, go for it. If you want to do heavy plate mail, but you throw lightning bolts all over the place, go for it. You can do it however you want to. You just have to remember that you have an X amount of points to do X amount of things. You only have 5 slots with a weapon slot and then an ultimate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your 5 basic slots. Then your ultimate. And then you have a second bar that can come down with a secondary weapon. For this character, it would be dual wield and then a staff. So if I want to do heavy casting, I'd do the staff out. Then I go into melee combat, I would actually switch. So I have 10 total slots, but 5 active at any given one time. You can do your weapon classification, armor. You can do Ledger Main and Soul Magic. Ledger Main is actually thieving abilities if you want to be a good pickpocket. That's your Ledger Main. Soul Magic is how you get soul crystals. Soul crystals charge your gear and weapons as such, and it makes the game more interesting. You have your individual guilds. These guilds are game guilds. They do not count towards your actual friend guild mates that play in the game, because you can have up to 5 beyond these 3. You have ratio. High elves have their own set of skills. And then you have crafting skills as well. You can cap these all out. Yes, it can be done. You can be an alchemist, blacksmith, clothier, enchanter, provisioner, and woodworker. Each of these abilities are crossed with another one at some point with something. It just takes a little time to figure out. Like for clothing, you're eventually going to need some alchemy and maybe some blacksmithing to assist you, woodworking, but it's assisting stuff, which means you can get it relatively easy. Like my main character, it doesn't do alchemy, does everything else. I'm capped on everything else, so that's the one to think about. Test your quests, your lore, everything that you do in this game, it remembers, literally. There's achievements, and there's also the leaderboard's not as much because I don't play as much. Map is very simple to use. So that's the brief breakdown of this character. This is my main character. It is a Nightblade that is an archery class primarily, which means I don't have any other skills except archery. And as I've been playing the game, I've been realizing that I probably should have gone melee archery, but everybody else is doing that. I'm pure archer. Like, literally the only secondary abilities that I carry beyond actually shooting stuff is running away. So, no, you don't hit me, no, you didn't hit me, run away, run away. That's pretty much all it is. The game consists of just running around killing stuff and farming. Farming is, like, simply... So first off was your enchanting. This is your crafting clothier. Cloth, there's one over there as well. You know, there's different things. All classes can sneak, like you see here. However, things you have to take care of when you're being sneaky. Number one, are you in the shade? That increases your ability not to be seen. How fast you move and how much sound you make tells where they're at. Are they facing you? They can see you pretty good. And then it just goes from there. So this is combat. So the thing you have to remember is that in combat, you actually have to aim at your target. So it requires a little bit more skill on playing the game. There isn't any tab targeting, there isn't any of that. So, but case in point, like my one action bar that you saw was archery. I switched the other weapon. It is once again archery. But my skills change and I have nothing to shoot at. So you see my skills change down on the bottom to something different. See. Most everything in the game has a secondary use as well as a primary use. Primary use is using in crafting. Secondary use is it's just gold garbage. Something has 0 value, that means it's designed to be matched up with something that it'll have a value. Several of the enchanting materials do not have any value until you made an enchanting device, and then you enchant it. Like you'll see here, I have a purple belt. The purple belt has these stats into it. Its standard stat is impenetrable, which is critical strike resistance, and durability losses is 50% less. And then it's part of a set, so if I have 5 points of the set, all these stack on top of each other. It says it's hidden by costumes and wearing a costume. The bar that you see, you have the waist, who it's made for, which is the primal set. The belt of the Death Wind is actual name of the set, the Death Wind set. Armor level and CP meaning the minimum level you need to be able to wear it. You need to be level CP1, champion point 160. I'm champion 256. It gives you by the way, there's people that are up there in the 800s. So that bar right there is your enchantment bar. It's also your durability bar. If it drops to 0, it breaks. It costs a lot to repair it. And then it's enchanted with maximum stamina, meaning I have extra hit points. So stamina, yeah. there's all your slots. You have an apparent slot, neck, ring, feet, belt, chest, head, shoulders, hands, legs, and you see you can go gold. Gold is the highest you can get. It's really expensive to make, but they're worth to have because the stats are ridiculous. Like I said, I have 2 bows. I don't have a secondary. You can put poisons on as well, but the poisons take precedence to the enchantment. My enchantment does I deal shock damage, so there you go. This is it in a nutshell. When you're a crafter and you can put points in, you can put points in, as you see in blacksmithing, to hireling. Now what this guy does is he goes down and he goes and delivers you materials in certain zones. It's, you know, because your level and what you're fighting against and what you can farm is dependent on what your level is, not what level the zone is. So wherever, most of the zones that you're in are going to be stuff that you're currently using. So, but I have a hireling that sends me stuff in the mail. Pretty straightforward. It's actually fun. You want to put these stats out because they help you out. As you see, I'm working on alchemy. My clothing. Provisioning is less because it's a food crafting. All I did was get the hireling to make sure I get the food. Brewer and chef means you get extra portions. Connoisseur means that everything lasts longer. The recipe improvement is required, as well as the recipe quality, because then it goes up to the higher green, blue, purple stuff. Then there's woodworking as well. The other thing that you have to take into consideration is that when you do actually do these crafting things at crafting stations, you have to actually go to a station. You can also make furniture, depending on, you know, blacksmithing, clothing, enchanting, provisioning, and woodworking, and you get bonuses for, yeah. Anyways. And there you go. That's ESO in a nutshell. Thank you for watching.